Hello, we are Visions of Atlantis. You are watching MULATSCHAG, and this is the only TV you need.
MULATSCHAG.
All right. Seems the metal world is pretty happy with your new work. Critics are excited.
Well, we didn't know what to expect. You can never claim how much the audience and the critics will receive whatever you release as music. So we're very happy because we love our music. We love this record. So finding a response on the same emotional level, on the same intellectual level, that we all love the same music in the end, it's really like motivating, and we've been very euphoric about the international, unanimous, positive feedbacks that we've received. So yeah, we're starting to tour now. We're floating on all of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It pushes a little bit, right?
Yeah, I second everything you say. Like it's exciting. Also, I believe we are trying to create a universe, not only to offer music. Like it goes from the visuals to the videos to, of course, the music is the core of all of this. And I think that people need in this moment to get transported in an alternative reality, to dream a bit more, compared to the daily life. And this is something that I think this is where the connection begins with our fans. And it's exciting to see that there are more and more people that are willing to jump into this world that we're creating, and it gives us a boost to get even deeper into this universe creation. And now we are trying to bring it live with this new stage setup and the theatrical show and everything. So let's see. But it's exciting.
Well, speaking of that, creating that universe, please tell us about the writing process when you get caught super nicely in that exponential spiral.
Yeah. Nice. Now, this is quoting her, right?
Yeah.
It's really nice. So I think that everything starts from the music, and already from the songwriting, which I'm taking care of, at least in this phase. At the beginning, everything comes from, this ethereal radio that plays our songs in my mind, and then I transpose into music. And I think that after the first years in which we're like understanding each other as musicians, because this lineup is kind of fresh for us, at least, even if now it's the sixth year, like we had a phase in which we were discovering each other. Now, when we got to know each other and we understood the musical direction where we wanted to go, which definitely happened in a proper way, at least I would say in a proper way, in the last two records, Pirates and Pirates 2 Armada. Already from the first demos that I put down, there is like this universe that can be smelled and tasted and heard in the music itself. Like the music already transports you in the Pirates universe. And this is where I pass the ball to Clemmy, which I believe, but then you will maybe confirm this, from the atmosphere that is generated by the songs, sees a movie, a score, and the concept that gives the inspiration for the lyrics. And she completes, what I'm doing visually, because you write the script for the videos. Of course, lyrically, thematically, because she writes all the lyrics, and most importantly, she creates the stories and the deep concept in our songs. So like it's great teamwork.
Yeah.
Where the song sets the basement for crafting this building that is our song. Like, did I get it right?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Speaking of this universe, how far is a Visions of Atlantis live show away from, let's say, the concept of a rock opera or a rock musical?
Not too far. When we started to perform together, it was very clear that we love theatrics. We love to really perform the songs, to also act what's going on in the songs, because they carry sometimes a really concrete story and concrete emotions that you can portray, and a nice interactions between the two characters. With that thing going on naturally, and the people attending the shows loving it back, we thought this is a strength of our project. This is something that we should go further with, not something that we should try to, we're just a rock band, so like let's kill the move. No, we're like, no, this is something unique with us that that helps also building that visual universe live. And so we definitely, push that. And the show tonight that people from Vienna will see carries more of that musical direction on some songs. And then other songs, they're just meant to be rocked on stage because we're, of course, first of all, we're a symphonic metal band. But making a show big and transporting people into another place, and it's about being complete. So the lights goes with the mood and we go with the mood too.
MULATSCHAG.
You're also known for, let's say, thought-through video clips. Have you ever asked Johnny Depp to perform in one of your clips?
Of course.
So, yes. We reached out to Johnny Depp to feature on a song that did not become a single, but there was a nice talking part at the beginning and in the middle. And this was the perfect part to have a guest. And of course, we're fans of Pirates of the Caribbean and a lot of literature about pirates. Like he used to play Monkey Island and all. Like being pirates is not something we decided for just
Not out of the blue, yeah.
out of the blue. It's because deeply rooted in our taste, in our personalities too. And having Johnny Depp would be a very nice thing to make happen. So we did reach out, but I think it was in the moment where his management replied. He was very busy with another movie he was shooting at the moment. So then our calendar could not really work together. But yeah, a movie's been done.
Not yet to happen, but it might.
It might.
You never know.
You never
Never know.
The song Tonight I'm Alive, Chima El Fana, was it?
How do you know?
Tell us about that inspiring journey to Marrakech.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Like you really got prepared. That's great.
It's what.
So but it's impressive. It's not from, not every interview is so accurate, and this is really like kudos, I would say. So we were actually in Morocco, and in the biggest square of Marrakesh, which is actually called Jimat as now, which became the working title of the song. Like I personally experienced something magic because I've seen these people gathering together and playing together percussions, and my feeling was that they were not there for charity, for to beg for charity. They were there play music together to enjoy their moment, to spend time as a community.
Yeah.
And this rhythm, this ethnic rhythm, like gave me shiver. And while I was there, I was like picturing this rhythm brought metal music. And I was like, okay, I really want to make this happen because this is something that touched me. And I wanted to try to bring that emotions that I felt into music. And I was like, okay, let's bring this ethnic vibe into symphonic metal. Let's see where it goes. And in the end, I think I made it to convince the band to make it a single.
And people seem to love it.
Absolutely.
It seems to enjoy it, yeah. But it was like an immediate emotional connection with what I felt there, because it felt like super spontaneous music, not coming with the goal of, conquering people. It was like really for the pleasure of playing music together.
Yeah.
This is something that I personally love.
MULATSCHAG.
You already played some shows in the States where people were already shouting, "Hail Jolly Roger." It reminded me of a band from the 80s. Have you ever heard of a band called Running Wild?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm a fan.
I mean, they were like 80s pirates.
I believe they are the first pirate metal band. Because at the beginning, if you remember, they were playing something completely different, and they were accused of being satanic or too edgy in their lyrics. And this is when they started to bring the pirate theme, when the move was made, and then they started to be like, also to dress up a bit, with a coat and everything, still with leather and jeans. But they were the real first pirate metal band on the scene.
MULATSCHAG.
Clémy, back in the 80s, you could have put all female metal musicians in one room.
Uh-huh.
How much do you enjoy working in an all-female band now?
In an all-female band? Well, it's...
I think he's talking about Exitiden.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I was like, is it a joke about the guys that are playing a symphonic metal band?
I mean, compared to the 80s, you know, that was like, I don't know, Lita Ford and Joan Jett or something. Doro. And Doro, of course, as a singer. Yeah.
Well, it's
Times have changed.
absolutely. And women feeling like they can become professional musicians as well, that they can pursue this kind of careers, and they're not looked like, what the fuck are you doing? This is not a women's world, and that's really nice to live. Feel like, okay, doors are opening, everyone can do whatever they want, and I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy to share a band with other women, that we can share a lot of experiences together, and we've also kind of sometimes felt it on our skin, like, yeah, we're girls, so we can't really have a serious point to make, or people not taking us very seriously sometimes. So it's nice that you can be surrounded by people that can relate to what you're experiencing. Other than that, this is the only difference, because they're musicians, I'm a musician, he's a musician. To me, it doesn't really, at the end, we're all there to do the same thing. It's more or less sometimes, the emotional support, or the womanhood that we share, that is empowering, that is comforting too. And I just hope, women find their way to do whatever they want.
MULATSCHAG.
Michele, please tell us about some northeastern Italian metal hotspots.
Well, actually, I feel like I'm lucky, because the region in which I've grown, which is called Friuli Venezia Giulia, has a massive history when it comes to metal, and when it comes to music also, because we have some really important Italian acts that come from my region. But for instance, when I was a kid, I was listening to bands from my region, like Elven King. This is a pretty well-known band in the folk metal scene. They literally live 40 minutes by car from where I live. There is a guy called Matteo Sisti, which plays the flutes and the ethnic instruments in Helvetii, which is also a guy from Friuli Venezia Giulia. That then I believe he moved to Switzerland now. So quite some metal acts or metal musicians were born and raised in my scene, and I was lucky enough of being there when they became bigger, and I think it was inspiring. It was really inspiring, because the metal scene was really strong. Like, there was a concert, even more than one concert every weekend, and there were a lot of little venues and little pubs in which metal bands could play original music. And I think this got lost right now, because somehow in the local scene, cover bands and tribute bands took over in these days. It's really rare to find original metal bands. I know of a few, but they kind of disappeared where I am right now, and I believe this is widespread in the northern Italy. But I was one of the lucky guys that could grow in that generation in which the metal scene in my region was so strong, and one band was dragging the other, and it was cool because we were all inspiring each other somehow. It was not like the situation in which the bigger band was like looking down on the smaller band. No, we are bigger, like there was support. There were big festivals. There was a festival called Ciao Luca, where I saw Blaze Bayley, where I saw Threshold for the first time, where I saw so many big bands, I can think of, for instance, Ian Pace from Deep Purple used to play as a guest with a Deep Purple tribute band. And I've seen so many musicians, Clive Barker from Jethro Tull, like so many acts played in my region. And I was like, wow. In the stadium in Udine, I've seen Metallica, AC/DC, Bryan Adams, Muse, So the metal scene was really, really strong over there. And I feel like I'm blessed, because I could see them so closely. Yeah, I was lucky.
Well, since you're from Gorizia,
yes.
Where did you spend more time when you were a kid? In the mountains or down Adriatic Sea, like Bibione?
In Slovenia.
Oh, there you go.
Gorizia is on the border, and there is like Nova Gorica in Slovenia and Gorizia, and literally 100 meters after the border, there is one of the biggest metal club of the region, which is called Mostovna, and I've seen George Collias, Marduk, Secret Sphere. A lot of bands were playing there in their tours, and I think they still are, even if it got more extreme. So it was so often that I was going to Slovenia, and in Slovenia there is the Fiumezonso metal camp was 80 kilometers from my region. So I have to say that I spent quite some time in Slovenia.
MULATSCHAG.
How would you picture the world in 200 years? Will there still be rock and roll, or will it just be robots creating music?
Regarding how fast things have evolved in 20 years, in every regards, like technology, society, the fact that we're talking about some wars happening again, you know, in areas where we thought, okay, maybe we're done with big wars. Maybe we'll no. I'm not so sure about the status of humanity in 200 years.
Wonder is a lot.
Yeah, like if you think back where we were 200 years ago and where we're now, it's a crazy development. So I think anything can happen. If we take it a bit closer to us, and if you're afraid of AI taking over music, which maybe I fear in your question,
Yep.
This is a very hot topic at the moment because it's also developing so fast, and there's no laws yet to control a new technology like this. And I understand the artists and the people that are afraid that this will replace humans. But if you look it back, like Photoshop didn't replace photographers. And computer, like when you started to write music, help with MIDI and stuff, where you don't even need to play very well the piano, you can ask the computer to play it. They don't replace musicians. So I do think artificial intelligence is just a tool, but you need a mind behind it. You need the creativity, you need the idea. If you don't have an idea, you cannot tell the computer to do anything. And then if you have just the beginning of an idea and you ask a computer to do something, it's going to come up with something that looks like a beginning of an idea, which is not exciting. So you have to refine and think back. So I do believe that without the mind, without the human mind and soul and heart, a machine is useless and a tool is just a tool. So as much as this might help people writing more music, it's not going to necessarily mean that it's going to be great music. And we will need great musicians. We will need great graphists. We will need great photographers. We will need all of these people anywhere, as we do now. And maybe in 200 years, if things calm down and if the world survives our egos and our greed, maybe we live in a way that machines do the nasty jobs and we get paid.
Get out the dirt.
Yeah, and we earn from somewhere else, and we can focus on rebounding with people for real, playing music together like these people do on Jima Hefma in Marrakesh, which is the real life. Yeah, we'll see.
That sounds positive.
We try.
MULATSCHAG.
Ciao, siete su MULATSCHAG e questa è l'unica TV di cui avete bisogno.
MULATSCHAG.
Hello, c'est Visions of Atlantis. Vous regardez MULATSCHAG et c'est la seule télé dont vous avez besoin.
MULATSCHAG!